Well, welcome back, everybody. As you can see, Audra and I are still on the Queen Mary 2, and while it looks bright and sunny,
But I don't know about
it's
you.
it's definitely gotten colder as we get closer to the east coast of the United States. And I don't know if you can see in the background, but the ship is rocking and rolling. But we've been keeping up with the news, and I think, at least for us, with the work that we do, obviously the big news has been the Rob Reiner case. Now, having worked in the criminal justice system as both a prosecutor and a defense attorney, and I've handled murder cases as well, although certainly not anything quite as exciting as this, I guess, if you're a criminal defense lawyer. But we've talked before about how the criminal world and the behavioral health space that we're in can sometimes cross over, and I think what we're seeing with that case is that you have an individual, according to what we've read, and of course we don't know all the facts, and we're not here to judge it. We're just going to sort of share our commentary on what we've seen. Obviously there was a long history of substance use. This is a young man that had been in and out of treatment, according to what we've read, about 18 times, which is...
And some mental health.
Significant mental health. And we don't know if he snapped or if this was premeditated, and that'll all come out. But at some point, he committed a heinous act. And I think that there's a couple of things that we see in our cases. Normally, by the time parents get to us, we're typically the last port of call. This is you've got mum and dad dealing with adult child, and it's been going on for years and years and years, 5 years, 10 years, sometimes even longer. And it's not unusual for the individual to have been to multiple treatment centers, and a lot of the time, either they don't stay long enough, they're allowed to leave, perhaps the facility is not clinically appropriate, perhaps there's med non-compliance, all kinds of things. And every case is unique in terms of, clinically, what are the issues. But I think that a couple of things that we tell mums, first of all, this is not your fault, right? This is not about who's to blame. It's not mum's fault or dad's fault or child's fault. It just happens. It's a disease, and sometimes people get sick. I think the other thing is that sometimes parents try to rationalize, like, why are they doing this? Why can't they change? And the term we use is the kidnapped brain. At some point, somewhere along the line, probably years ago, your adult child's brain got kidnapped, and something changed. And it probably happened over time, and I'm willing to bet, especially with the mums, because mums seem very intuitive, right, Audra?
That's right.
That you started to notice little things, even subconsciously, and you may well have said, it's just a phase, or you chose to ignore it. And again, I'm not judging you for it, I'm just telling you the kinds of things that we see. But I think one of the other things that we see a lot of is that when behavioral health issues, substance use, mental illness go unchecked, when I say unchecked, I mean untreated, in a clinically appropriate environment for a significant period of time,
Just get worse.
not only do they get worse, but violence can happen. And I'm not suggesting that your adult child is going to do commit the ultimate sin, as it were. What I am telling you is that it's not unusual for us to see violence, and a lot of the time it's because...
To others or to themselves?
Yeah, to others or to themselves, right? That's a good point. And it just progressively gets worse. And so I think what we're trying to tell you is, this is, the Reiner case is an extreme example. But
it's a cautionary tale.
It's a cautionary tale. What I'm telling you is, if you don't get a handle on this, right, that it could get worse. And so I think that we all say there's options, right? And we're really, when you call us, it's about giving you some options. We're not here to tell you what to do. Everybody's a grown-up, and you get to decide what's right for your family. But ultimately, if it gets worse, the person can end up dead, and that happens. We've seen it happen, and we've spoken to families maybe 6 months, a year after they called us and they decided for whatever reason not to act, and then we find out the person passed. Occasionally we lose a person who's in treatment. That does happen, and we're realists about that, and it's not only frustrating, but it's heartbreaking for us, especially because we take to work. This is what really drives us, right? While we're sitting on a boat on vacation while we're making this video for you. So somebody can end up dead. So then ultimately, if the person's brain's been kidnapped, it's about who's going to decide to save them, right? Is it mum and dad? And obviously here in Florida, our two main weapons are Marchman Act and guardianship, sometimes a combination of both. But if the family's not going to step in and do this, then I'm afraid to tell you the state's going to probably do it for you. And that happens either through the criminal justice system, which is what's happening in the Reiner case. Right? The state has them, albeit in California, but the state has them, and they're going to fight like hell to keep them. Or they end up in the mental health system. And so I've put out a lot of content about the Baker Act. We file a couple hundred cases every year to get people out of the Baker Act, and I think if you look at the stats, the state of Florida is Baker Acting about 100,000 people a year, which is insane. Many of those people shouldn't have been there, either because they didn't meet criteria or because they just didn't get the treatment they needed, and now the state's decided, well, we'll just keep them and lock them up and throw them in a state mental institution, which doesn't help anybody. So we wanted to share that with you. If you are a family out there and you're dealing with this and you're sick and tired of frankly being sick and tired, then give us a call. Let's see what we can do to help you. Let's give you some options, and then you as a family can decide what's right for you. So we wanted to share that with you as we get ever closer to the East Coast and more windy and rough and cold, but this is important work for us, and we never really switch off. So I hope you're doing well. Enjoy the holidays, and we'll see you in our next video. Oh, and I meant to mention, if you like what we're putting out there, even though you can barely see us, we'd love a thumbs up. Please subscribe to the channel. We try to put out some content every day for you, so you can figure out what's right for your family. So,
God bless.
yeah, God bless. Take care. We'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.